I have this single shop light over the top of my seed trays, and it just doesn't quite have enough coverage. You can see it looks good on there where I've just got like 3 little cups wide. And what I've been doing is taking a cardboard box and making like a teepee out of it to concentrate the light. Get a good look down in here. And that's been working pretty good, but once I turn the tray the other way, it's not going to be so great. You can see that the light's good in the center, and when you get to the outside, it's pretty dim. Got the overhead light on right now, but you can see right here to the right where the last row is almost in the dark, and the center 2 or 3 rows are nice and bright. So I'm planning to double this light and leave about a 3-inch gap between them so I get a lot better coverage. And my light coverage should be something like this on the ends. And the center part, the 2 bulbs should overlap. Be back here in a minute and I'll show you how I'm going about doing this on the cheap. I'm using just a regular shop light, and you can pick it up at Home Depot or Lowe's for like 12 bucks. A little more for maybe a different model or more deluxe model. I'm just going to show you the box here real fast. Pause this if you need to stop and read it. I'll be putting 2 of these parallel. And the bulbs I use, if you notice on here, it says 2900 lumens. That's how much light it puts out. And these are 40 watts per each tube. And the color of the bulb down here is 6500. 5000 is good. You get down around 2900, you're soft white, and that's not so great for seed germination, but it's okay for like flowering plants. Or 1 tube of a blue and 1 tube of a yellow bulb would be a good color spectrum if you got like flowering plants indoors. And these are the T12 size that fit the shop light. Just trying different angles here so you can get a good look at it. And this 2-pack of bulbs is about $10. In fact, I got one here that's still open. Comes in a 2-pack. To get these 2 lights connected together, I've got a piece of wood here. Just a 1/2 inch by 3 or 4. In fact, there's the label on it. And it was about $3 at Lowe's Home Improvement Center. The shop light itself, it has this tin cover on it. It has to be removed. You'll see a screw right here, and there's one in the center and one on the other end. And once that tin is removed, you'll be able to screw it to the piece of wood, cut that piece of wood in half. And all you need for this is some screws. These are metal screws. They're a pan head, and they're only a 1/2 inch long, so they won't poke through that wood. You could put plywood the full length, but there's really no need to put that much weight on it. I'll be back here in a few minutes after I get the cover off this light. And the other light disassembled in the same manner. Alright, I got my boards fastened on these lights. And if you look down in here, you can see I put 2 screws in them. If you just put 1 screw in, they'll be all rickety and loose. And it's a solid unit. Got 1 screw here, 1 screw here. And all I did is drilled a 1/16 pilot hole just so the screw would go through the sheet metal and into the wood fairly easy. Same on this other one. And they look fairly square on the ends. I measured across it and it was about 49 inches, 49/8, 49/4, something corner to corner. You come down here the length of the light. It's the same on the other end. Don't worry about it sticking out a little bit. You hardly even notice it. I didn't want to take a lot of time cutting that wood with a handsaw. I'm just using basic tools. I'm not using a power saw. I'm not in a wood shop here. But this is kind of what I have right now. I'm going to flip it over and get these covers back on. One thing I did run into is this stud sticking up. On the other one, it was stuck to the lid because somebody cross-threaded it at the factory. So that was a little difficulty I run into, but no big deal. And here's your ballast thing. If these lights quit working, that's usually what goes out on them. But for 12 bucks, it's easy enough to just drill a couple more holes and then fix this up again if they quit working. Be back here in a few. Got my 2 lights assembled now, and you can see the rack here. Gary Pilarchik has a tutorial on how to build this frame, and I'll put a link in the description. And this is a modified version of his instructions because it wasn't enough light to have a 5-tray system. If you turn them sideways like this, I've got fairly decent light coverage, and you want to take some foil or something, even cardboard, and cover the opening in the top. I would suggest using some foil because everybody has it and it'll reflect the light down in there, but you want to take a pencil and just poke a few holes in it so it's got some ventilation. So just a single light radiates a little bit of heat down below. And be back here in a minute. I'm going to change my lights around. I'm going to turn my overhead light off and just turn this on so you can get a bird's eye view of how it lights up this tray. As you can see, it lights up these little seedlings fairly well. The one on the very end is not real dark. But if you was to take the foil and kind of contain the light from escaping, like I do with the cardboard here, it still has a decent amount of light if you can contain it with either use some foil or some cardboard. And I think it makes a difference. And the amount of light escaping the top is minimal. Sorry, this view ain't that great. But even just putting that cardboard on there makes a difference on how concentrated your light is to give your seedlings the maximum benefit. I just kind of lined these up in a row so you could see how bright they are in the center. And this one on the outside is a little bit, it's not as bright, so you may want to rotate your little cups around every couple of days so they all get the same amount of light. And it's kind of what I have right now. Thanks for taking the time to look at my setup with this double light. Oh, I forgot to mention that the spacing between these lights is about 2 3/4 inches. I was anticipating 3 inches, and I've got a little bit of extra wood overlapped here, about 3/4 of an inch on both sides, and I may want to separate the lights, spread them out to about 4.5 inches. So that's something to consider if you want to build a double light like this. Lowe's had a fixture that had T8 bulbs in it, 4 bulbs. And I believe it was $48 and some change. And that's something else to consider if you're not very handy. But I think my cost on this, the 2 lights, was $12, and then the piece of wood was $3, and I don't know how much the screws were. And the bulbs were 2 packs at $10 each. So I've got about $50 total in this double light, including the bulbs, and then it was another $10 for the plastic pipe for the frame. So that gives you a cost of around 60 bucks. Head on over to Gary Pilarchik's channel and check out his videos. He's got a ton of great information over there.